Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So it's literally been ages since I did a video on here, but I wanted to come back on because I've been getting a lot of interaction on my video about making a tarot and an oracle deck. So I wanted to come back because I finally have my tarot deck. I remember in my last video I was just talking about like if it's good to self-publish or go with a publisher, and I've just got my deck. Well, I actually got it maybe I'm gonna say like 2 months ago, so I can finally like give you a bit more information on how that went and how it's going and how I feel about it. So first of all, I'm so excited. Like when I got the package to say that it was finally here, I was literally screaming like so loud. I was so happy and just so excited because I feel like it's been such a long journey. So one second guys. So I feel like, sorry about that. So I feel like it was such a long journey from start to finish. So I think the first drawing that I actually did for this was about nearly, I thought it was 5 years ago, but it's actually nearer 4 years ago. And then the rest, I think I finished about 3 or so years ago. So it's been a long time. So I was so happy to get it. So this thing, actually that lighting's probably better anyway. So basically I just wanted to talk to you a bit about like the decisions that the publishers made, and like towards the end like what kind of stuff needed to be done, just so you have a bit more information on the publisher route as opposed to the self-publishing route. So towards the end the publishers messaged me and they let me see what their plans were for like the deck in terms of like I want to say packaging, but I didn't really get to choose the packaging. It was more like that they just showed me the artwork that was going to be on it. I didn't really know what box was going to be there and like what the guidebook was going to look like. So they sent me all that stuff, and I said that was fine. So they went ahead and sent it to print. And what else happened? I got paid another I think it's an advance, but I know that I got paid again when it was like finished printing and it was all being sent out. So that was really good. And yeah, I'm just so excited. But you know what guys, I'm not even gonna lie to you, like the hardest bit for me has been the reviews. Like I really struggle with like putting myself out there and like opening myself up to getting possibly negative reviews. And the thing is, I know, and it's something that I have to learn to accept, that not everyone is gonna like it. So that's been really hard because I'm like, it's my baby and I want to defend it. But yeah, so I've had like, to be honest, the reviews have mainly been really good. I've maybe had like 1 or 2. Most of the complaints have been things like people saying there's not enough men, even though there are men in there. But to be honest guys, like the way that I draw men is still, you know, it's still kind of feminine. I don't know if you can see, but there's actually a guy on the back. So there's a guy on the back of the box. So that's been the main thing, like people complaining about if there's men. A couple of things about the guidebook, like some people wanted more information, but to be honest, I feel like the art speaks for itself. And I also feel like I followed the Rider-Waite Tarot, so I feel like if you're really familiar with that, I don't really know what else there is to say. So I'm really genuinely happy with how this turned out, and I'm so grateful to all the people that are loving it, and honestly to the publishers because they did such an amazing job. I think it looks so good and I'm just so happy with it. So I'm going to show you what it looks like inside. I'm just going to put a video in because I've already done loads of videos. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I need to cover with this. Also, like if anyone has any more questions about the creation of the oracle and tarot decks, just let me know. I think a couple of questions that people have been messaging me about has been mainly things like do I recommend using a publisher, and also how did I fulfill my own orders. So in terms of if I recommend a publisher, honestly it just depends on what you want as like a person, as and as an artist. I think obviously if you self-publish, there are a lot of positives, which are that you get all the profit, although to be honest, the profit comes a lot later because you have to use most of the money to actually print and like ship and yeah, but you do get like the profits from when you start selling the deck, so that's like a real plus, especially if you put a lot of work into it. But then if you go with a publisher, you kind of don't have the stress of printing, working out like all the design stuff, distribution, like actually shipping everything. And that, honestly, the amount of stress that caused me was like huge in my own ones. So I feel like there's like pros and cons to both sides, but it just kind of depends on how you feel and like what you want to get out of the project and pretty much like what you feel comfortable with. I will say, if you do choose a publisher, make sure you get a good deal. I was really happy with the deal that I had with my publisher, which was US Games, and I feel like they were really nice and they were just really easy to work with, and they like talked me through like the process, and yeah, they were just so nice to work with. So I feel like there are obviously pros and cons to both sides, although I don't really feel like there was a con to the publisher side. The only thing is obviously the profit. I guess you get royalties, so you don't get like paid the same way that you would if you were self-publishing. And then also like opening yourself up to a bigger audience can be kind of scary. Well, for me it was scary, like, because I knew with my Oracle decks, like it was mainly reaching people that already liked my artwork, if that makes sense. So there's that. And then the other thing people were asking about is distribution and shipping. Like, how did I go about doing that? And I just shipped everything myself, which was a lot of work. And I wouldn't say that my Kickstarter was like huge. So I think for people that get like huge amounts of orders, I think some people tend to use a fulfillment center. I've heard mainly positive things about fulfillment centers, but I have heard some negatives as well. So that's something that you would need to like research a bit more, I think. And yeah, that's it really. So I'm gonna put in a video of the deck so you guys can see if you haven't already seen it online. But yeah, I'm so happy with how it turned out, and if you have any more questions, I'll be more than happy to go over anything with you. And I was actually thinking of making like a written guide with all the information in it so that you guys can just access it at any time. I was thinking of doing like a class and charging for it, but honestly I would ultimately like to be able to just give the information away for free. But I feel like that's in my last video, so yeah, I'm just rambling now. But anyway, I hope you guys like the deck, and if you have it, I would love to know what you think about it and if you're enjoying it. Go buy it.
The Mind's Eye Tarot.